I've made multiple videos on Eddie so far, so check out those videos for more of a background on Eddie. But real quick, listen to him explain when he was building his art studio, Oblivion Minus.
I'm 78 now, and I guess I started building it when I was 73 or 74. I fell off ladders twice. In the second, my feet were 9 or 10 feet up. I went right on my back.
Wait, you were how old, Eddie?
73 or 74. I went right on my back. And they said I told me not to do any exercise for 6 months or something, but as soon as the pain subsided a little bit, I started building again. Wasn't going to wait forever. The studio took a couple years, but people helped.
Not only did this man build his own waterfront house, he also built his own art studio and this epic sailboat, Pterodactyl. He also lived on this boat for years and has sailed to Hawaii.
Getting nowhere fast. At least I'm not in my rig and wasting gas.
Howdy, Edwin here. This is my house and home based right here. That's Ocean and Mina's dog, Wessie, short for Westerly Wind. And this is Lottie, our little toy poodle who just got scalped. She looks great with it long and her little mohawk, but she just got scalped. So let's go check out the place. I designed the house, built everything with, most of it was from my own trees. Heating system, hydronic underfloor stuff. And that's the setup I got. And circulation pump, hot water heater to heat the water, and it pumps it under the floor. The regular water heater for the house, and we got a freezer there for the meat and everything. This is my studio, Oblivion Minus, and we'll look at that later. We had a pet goat. The goat learned how to bite it and open a door and come in. Yeah, this is Arkansas pine. The heating tubes are actually under the subfloor, so it's not that efficient. This painting here is Dr. Love. I've met him he lived in this apartment here for a while. I saw him walking down the street in Everett, and I said, wow, that guy, I want to paint. I ran after him and asked him if I could paint him. And he said, yeah. My friend Donnie told me, hey, I got this property. And Gina and I just said, yeah, we'll take it. And we swung the deal, and that's how we got here. We just lucked out. There was a rotted double wide here. And we lived in that for 5 years. When it got to the point where you might fall through the floor standing at the kitchen sink, I said, yeah, I think we better build a real house. And so I tore it down and built our place and chopped down 4 fir trees, a cedar, and an alder, and had a guy come with a wood miser and milled it all. So that was most of the wood. I had to buy some others. So that's how we got a nice house without having to spend so much and everything. I liked the layout of the double wide. It had the hallway like this, and so I kept it somewhat like that design when I designed the Church of Vauvert of Van Gogh, probably worth 50 to 100 million, I don't know. Anyway, I have my own Buscando software. This is the guest room. Regular baseball's pretty boring to me. Babe baseball. Sluggo set in the USA on the gloves. Here's the catcher's glove. A racehorse here. I don't know how all the stuff got in here. And the committee, I don't know whether it's, some of those committees that rule the world or whatever, but guys get into my paintings pretty often. The painting here is hammering out U.S. American culture or U.S. culture. My son Wyatt and I did that one. It's a collaboration, kind of. That's 3 hours, and that's oil. Okay, now this is Gina's music room now. She's starting to do gigs, singing and playing the guitar. I got my 2 sons. There's Wyatt, maybe 20 years ago, and he was sort of getting sleepy a little bit. And then this is Ocean when I think he's 11, I think. And I was just feeding him cookies and letting him watch television. And I painted that. No separation of church and state. I did that in grad school. Both of those I did in grad school. There's the piano. It was really hard getting it in here. Okay, now this is our dressing room. My side over here. And now to go up to the bedroom. The spiral staircase was a kit. I bought that and put it together. Pretty small up here, but it's cozy. Originally didn't have a TV. I didn't build the doors. Gina's stepdad bought these and I installed them and everything. Got this balcony. It's really nice. You know, we got a view of the cove a little bit. Of course, this was Ocean's room. He was 3, I think, when I finished the house, so his room was close to us. I made all these Z doors. I really liked this as growing up. Uncle Bill probably influenced me to start building, because he had a shop and he built, and his cousin Billy. But he had these kind of doors, and I always liked it. We call this the catwalk. We put this closet in here. I didn't originally do that, but this is the catwalk, and it's got the little openings down in the living room. That little bookcase is covering it. And this whole thing, I wanted it to sort of look sort of like a hayloft in a barn. I really like this little thing. And this is Cosima's room. She's still got a few instruments in here, her mandolin and a dulcimer. And now this is a guest room now. When I launched the Pterodactyl back in Everett in '78, made the front page of the Everett Herald. And we wanted to include the whole kitchen area in one. It really is good for parties. And we have Drake's Thanksgiving in here with a table going the whole way. I think the last one, we had like an L, and I think there was like 20 people. It was really fun. Gina's stepdad, who was quite handy, he helped me here in the kitchen. Bill actually did the tile. I didn't even do that. Then everything else, I made the shelves and the pull out. This is where we keep all our food. All the steel. It turned out that during the hottest days of summer, I did all these steel fittings. I overbuilt everything, I built boats, so I built everything to handle a big storm. I'll also go outside. I just built this, this is only a couple years old, this barbecue shed. The property's an acre and a half, but the property line goes halfway out into the cove, so moles are just going crazy here. I never saw them. Last year probably it's just tunnels everywhere, but I just ride right over them with a mower. I don't try to go around them. As far as I know, I never decapitated any moles or anything. When I go down to the dock and everything. The path was here when we moved in. There's like a cave-in or sinkhole goes way down there, and we have 2 terrific cedar trees that we just love. Gina hugs this one and the other one every time she goes by. These trees are so cool. Keep in there. We come to the sauna. Cosima had her senior project. She designed and built this sauna, but I had a lot to do with it. And it's really cool because the fire is down below. The other stove burned out. Salt just burned it out. So I made this new one out of beer keg. Come on up, I'll show you the inside of the sauna. Sauna itself, this is all cedar, it was milled. I named it Carberry Cove after my late friend who drowned, who I helped him build his boat and sailed to Hawaii. Real good guy. like a family member. Here's the dock. This one is mounted here. I think it's like 20 bags of concrete or something. Had to pack it all. It was hard. I'm glad I don't have to do it now. It was about 4 or 5 years ago. And the other one was a different style, so I had to weld up this thing to, make the swivel. It gets to be about 12 feet deep at high tide. Yeah, I actually used to keep the pterodactyl right here, just about where Orphan is, and it would lay over like that. I built this thing so Orphan doesn't lay far, like out of tires and stuff. That's the Tide Runner, Ocean's motor boat. And out there is Orphan, the boat that I rescued. It was in the Tweak fleet, and it was going to be smashed apart by the DNR, and I got to it first. I have more work inside. It was a mess. Deepest part, the mud comes to about here on me. You got to be in your bare feet because you'll just pull your shoes off, and there are barnacles on sticks and stuff, so you get scratched, cut sometimes. But we used to frolic out there and just roll around in it and everything. It's really a really beautiful place. Oblivion Minus Studio, and there's TDC, Tommy Drake Club, because the Cantina is also the Tommy Drake Club clubhouse.
Tommy Drake built his own boats. He was a retired sailing ship captain. They called him the Lone Sea Rover. Tommy Drake Club, I'm the lifetime Commodore. You make your own burgee. You can use a sock, underwear, whatever you want. TDC, you write on there, put it on your starboard where you put your yacht club burgee. Okay, you're in. Make your burgee or whatever. It's the Drake attitude. And if something is Drakeish, well, it's functional and unpretentious. And if you think like that, you're a Draker. Captain Tommy, the Lone Sea Rover, is my biggest hero.
I made the double doors for my shop and the hayloft door for the studio if I had to put any. I have a hoist, and I can hoist anything big or heavy. Cantina sign, 6 inch apart. That was during COVID when they said 6 feet apart, so I made it my own 6 inch. This is Tommy Drake's Cantina. A real funny thing, I'm not a certified welder. This 1/4 inch steel thing that I made, and I made fittings for a bunch of sailboats, ocean-going boats that never ever gave way, but I'm not certified, so they wouldn't certify that. And this little dinky thing is what they specified. Since I didn't have that and I had that, they made me put this in here. When I told Gina, she asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I said, I want anything nautical for the Cantina for Christmas. And what she do, she gets me these fancy limited edition plates. I mean, they're too good for me, but I really like them. Something fell and knocked this one down, and I glued it together. This is, I think, South Africa coming in there to whatever. This painting is What the Hell's Going On Here. I did that in grad school. The painting there is, a lot of people like that. That's Dean Botker. He was one of my lawn customers, and he was kind of a recluse. I kind of watched out for him because he was pretty old, and people would take advantage of him. The neighbor across the street and I were watched out for him. Nobody else. And this is the Cantina. Typical, I don't like anything. I don't like uniformity that much. I like uniformity in the strength, but not in design. So everything is oddballs. These are not the same. The drawers here are definitely pretty wild wood. I used partly live edge, and the drawer pulls are my late neighbor. When he died, I inherited all his walking sticks he was making, so I used them for drawer pulls. They work pretty good. And here's a tsunami relief. when that Indian Ocean tsunami struck.
26th of December 2004, a date etched in our memory. It was on this day that the world woke up to one of the deadliest natural disasters in recorded history. The Japanese term tsunami, which few people outside the scientific community were familiar with, became a part of our everyday conversation.
Everybody was given money for relief, but none of those villages ever got anything. It went all into resort and billionaires and everything, and the first thing they rebuilt was Starbucks, I read. So I put that there. There's the plane coming, and the native, regular people are all drowned and dead, but some of them, like this gal's got her hair dyed and she's got to entertain the tourists and the bulldozers. And studio, this is Oblivion Minus. Here's the painting from 2005. Me in the Mirror, I think it's called, or something like that. Now, the insulation is on the outside. I like having the frames and the planking, same as in the house, and all these welded things that I made. And that piece up there, that welded thing, actually pretty complicated. 22 pieces I had to weld together to make that thing. I've wanted to paint in North Light my whole art career and never had.
What does North Light have to do?
We live in the Northern Hemisphere, so it's never direct sun, and it stays constant all the time. In the South, it changes color and moves, and so your light changes. All the old masters painted in North Light. That's what people would want in their studio. And luckily, the old garage foundation was pretty much north-south, so I didn't have to tweak that any. And you notice I have dark gray, I think it's called Midnight or something like that, purpley gray. And then I have the dark green. And then as it gets more towards the south, it gets to be a lighter green. And then on the very end, it's chartreuse. This is an ash tree. It used to be out front. I never wanted to cut it down. And the wood stove down in the cantina the pipe comes right up through here, and I made this contraption. And even in the wintertime, 3 or 4 hours, the heat can come up here and warm up the studio. And we like to jam. And so we got all the amps and everything here. And I brought my wash tub bass in here. And I have like a floor mic underneath. And so I can jam with this. So that's cool. And we got a real bass here. Got the Doom back. My friend Ibrahim Diallo had, after he was from Mali, he had 10 mothers. Big guys get to have a lot of wives. So he would go back to Africa and get stuff. And that spear, that's a real African spear. He gave those to me. I bought a lot of my African stuff, you know, like my African dashikis and outfits. I bought a lot of that stuff, and I really like African stuff. And the bathroom, everything's sort of an art project. So I got this piece of driftwood and used that on here in hot water for the shower. Hot, you know, it packs and goes up. And I made a really cool shower head there that I soldered together and drilled the holes through it. Really feels sort of like you're in the rain. The hot water heater's right there on demand. I also figured, what the hell, when I was designing the place, I think I'll make a tower on top, you know, it's not that much extra. So I have the Tower of Song here. I named it after Leonard Cohen's song.
The Tower of Song.
And you can lower the trap door and everything with all these pulleys and stuff. And I got the counterweights. It works pretty good. You unlatch it with this thing. Here's the pants for that African, that African little hat I showed you. Here's the pants for it. And I have dashikis. I love wearing those. Koshima got this for me in the Caribbean, I think in Antigua somewhere. It's really cool. It doesn't even have a label. I guess it was made there. And I sometimes, if I paint up here, I paint acrylic. So there's unfinished acrylic paint. Like that was a model that at Studio Paradiso. He was supposed to be Samson. Victoria made this little outfit for him and everything. This is shaped like the old Washington State watchtowers, fire towers. And it's got the windows all around. Might as well see a few of the other things. I love persimmons, so I planted a persimmons tree. Last year I could eat a couple. They never taste right. They're never, I guess the weather's not right for it. My apple tree, that does yield. I got apples. There's Wyatt Stingy. He got that at the boat wrecking yard. Gina bought that 1967 Kencraft trailer. And I just built this. I guess that roof hasn't even been on for a year. We got the roofing from Offer Up a good deal. This is the doghouse. Gina wanted me to build a doghouse. She thought I was just gonna make a regular little doghouse.